right, let me get Tiny in here, because...
Okay, now, do you want Tiny in alone first, or do you want him in with his new singing partner?
Oh, he's a singing partner.
Well, yeah, he can bring in his singing partner. I don't care. What's the singing partner's name?
It's Alyssa.
Okay. Tiny Tim and Alyssa. Whatever he's more comfortable with. He might want to be here alone.
Wonder what
He might
this
not
is
want to
all
share the
about.
spotlight with her.
Well, he brought her.
Yeah?
She's doing all the talking.
Really? All right. Well, okay. Who wants to hear her? I want to hear Tiny. That's no fun. I'll shut her up if she's too verbose.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I'll shut her up if she makes sense.
You know, I was again thinking about this thing with Tiny. He did marry a woman and then moved to Indiana or something. She lives here and he lives there.
Yeah, hey, let me put my sunglasses on so I look handsome. This is going to end up on you.
Yeah. I'm just still puzzling that whole is Tiny gay thing.
Yeah, I'll get to the bottom of it, if you'll pardon the expression. One second, let me find my glasses.
Put on this one.
I'm putting on my glasses, Tiny, so I look handsome.
morning.
Hey, Tiny, how you doing? Tiny, I won't shake your hand because I know you're worried about germs. That's all right. No, listen, I know your whole scene. How you doing, Tiny? You look good.
Miss Gibbons, I like that.
Miss Givens, you're really making points here, Tiny.
Miss Givens.
Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Robin.
Miss Robin. Just keep it Miss Robin. Never mind the last name. I forget it, too.
Givens.
Everyone calls you Robin
I
Givens.
know.
Tiny, what a faux pas.
Who's the rest of the gentleman here?
I'm sorry?
The other gentleman here.
Oh, the other that's
wants
Mr.
intros,
Mr. Jackie,
Jackie,
Mr. Billy,
Mr. Billy.
and Mr. Fred over there.
I'm sorry, Miss Robin. What was the last name again?
Robin
Quivers.
Quivers.
Miss Quivers, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's not like
Obviously,
you,
he
Tiny.
hasn't seen my book.
Quivers of Life? Have you read it yet?
No, I haven't.
Oh, fascinating. You think you got problems, Tiny. Wait till you read her book.
Where can I buy it?
Oh, in any store.
Oh, well, I will as soon as I get out of here.
Please do, because you'll see that everyone else is normal compared to Robin.
Oh,
You'll feel better after.
Yeah, you'll feel a lot better about it. You know how people always say you're eccentric and you're wild and you know this. You're completely normal. Yeah, right. It's unbelible.
There's hope for you.
You're gonna go out. Well, how you been?
Oh, I can't complain.
Really? You usually do.
Mr. Stern, thanks. Nice being on your show, but if I just may say and get this out of the way,
Go ahead.
I want to thank my agents, Mr. Magdaleno and Mr. Knight, who had me on your wonderful
Pay-per-view.
Pay-per-view.
Yes.
Mr. Knight from Headline Talent. And also, if I may say, there's a very sick girl, a friend of Miss Valerie. She's in a hospital with women's problems. And
Really?
So I hope her
Is this a
operation-
girl that you're in love with?
Oh no! Well, no, she's a wonderful woman, but she's my my manager's wife.
I see.
I mean sister.
I see. So she's having women's problems?
Yes.
What, period, something like
I
that?
don't know what. Maybe an operation.
Really? Oh,
I must point out that Tiny is the first person I've remembered who thanked someone for putting him on their show.
yeah, he actually thanks his managers for putting him on that pay-per-view show. You know, Tiny, that's a hell of a nice thing to thank your managers. Let me say, Tiny looks very young. I got to tell you, Tiny's no spring chicken. Right, Tiny?
Oh, well.
I see. Tiny has come on here numerous occasions and described his beauty regimen. Mm-hmm. I'm going to say
And the
something.
skin is beautiful.
You don't have a wrinkle in that face. Look at you. You're like 70 or something, right, Tiny? I mean, no offense. That's
Do you
amazing.
tell your age? You should.
Do you admit your own age?
Well, I'm nearer 64.
64.
Nearer.
You got the skin of a 30-year-old. Look at you.
Mr. Stern, you're wonderful.
What are you doing these days? Are you still using the lotions and creams?
Quivers, thanks. Well,
Would you describe your beauty regimen for the people at home? Because it really does work.
Yeah.
Well, I praise the good Lord. He shall renew thy youth like an eagle's. I praise him first, and also right now.
Do you have a regular prayer routine?
At home, and also.
I picture you praying at home like 20 times a day.
I'm grateful for Estee Lauder's tender loving care, and also a wonderful makeup from Revlon called Age Defying Makeup.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Is there such a thing?
I don't get nothing from these people, huh?
Right. Now, one of the things about Tiny, when he endorses a product, he doesn't get
want
anything.
it free. He just wants to buy it.
We have had people call into the show from various companies and say, hey, Tiny just endorsed us. We'd like to send them a free this and that. He won't take it.
That's right.
He won't take it.
Because it's not fair to others, and I don't want to profit here. I'm just telling what I do.
Now, you say Estee Lauder is what?
Yeah, only the cleansing cream is called Tender Cream Cleanser with a blue cap on it.
Now what do you do? What is the regimen? You wake up in the morning and you prepare your face with
4
it?
times with that. Then I
No,
use,
hold on. Let me get this straight. So the
in
people
the
at home
morning.
know this.
Yeah.
You wake up in the morning
Well, yeah.
and you take Estee Lauder rejuvenating cream.
No.
No. I cleanse.
Cleansing cream.
It's called a tender loving cream.
No soap.
No.
Soap never touches that face.
Only in the shower. Only
in the
Only
shower.
Dove soap for sensitive skin. The extra sensitive Dove is excellent.
Is there a Dove soap? I use Dove soap, but it doesn't say extra sensitive
Well,
skin.
it's a new box with a light green tag on it.
And that's what you recommend?
It's-
I thought that was
it's-
unscented, not sensitive.
There's one unscented too,
I
but
see.
now they come up with an extra sensitive skin.
Tiny, you must spend
He
like
is
hours in the
constantly in the
supermarket.
supermarket.
Really looking. And when you try, you have to try a lot of products till you find the right one.
Well, always. Well, this country's been blessed not only with wonderful things, but great supermarkets.
Yes.
I mean, great products. They really care about the products, and
They do.
everyone is competing.
We have the. If you've
You
been to
know
Europe, right? You see, they don't have the selection we have.
That's why we're living in the greatest country in the world. I mean, the freedom here, no matter what they say, we've been blessed with so much food. And
The average man can go into a supermarket. You're talking about any working class person and pick up products that formerly only a king could buy. Is that true?
And not only that, but we have great products like hefty bags with the two handles on it.
I love those.
Especially the steel sack.
What are you doing with those, if I may ask, Tony?
Because he's getting.
He's chopping up his ex-wives.
He's closing his eyes when he talks.
Right. You know, you almost have ecstasy on your face when you talk about hefty bags. Why people don't tap you for a commercial endorsement, I don't understand.
I wouldn't take it now because
Really?
when I mention it here, it's not fair
Right.
to those who are trying to look for a break in commercials. But the hefty steel sack, the black one,
Right.
is really strong, and I use it for not only for garbage, but I also use it, when I go to hotels. Not all the time, but and when I remember, I buy it so I could help the maids, put the garbage in without them going into the basket with those open paraphernalia there.
No, wait a second. Now explain to me. Wait a second. This is interesting. You live in a lot of hotels. You don't really live in
Right.
right. You like hotel living, and the woman who comes and cleans your room, obviously, you don't leave it to them. You clean your own room.
Yes, I try to.
Right. And you're saying that you don't like when they come in and use their own garbage bags.
Right.
Why?
Because hefty bags, the steel sack ones, you can put it in. There's two wonderful yellow handles,
Right.
And you can close it up, and it's very sanitary.
Oh, I see. You
He
don't
doesn't
feel
like
that.
those open bags,
Right.
just laying there,
The-
letting everything whoosh
that-
out.
I see. You don't want them in the
Right.
room with any of that. So when how do you explain to these chambermaids that this is what you require?
Well, I'm usually gone before they come into the room.
Is the room all cleaned
As
by the
much as
time
possible.
when they come in? Because you make your own beds, don't you?
Not very well, but it's made because I can't come into a room and see a bed empty.
I see.
With the cover off.
I see.
What will that do?
Well, it doesn't look right.
Oh,
it
okay.
looks like
Looks like hell.
something has happened.
Right. Looks like sex has been.
Oh,
Exactly.
Tiny.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
Tiny's got very, very specific. It's a fascinating. Tiny is fascinating. Now, let me get back to your beauty regimen because you really do look younger than ever.
Yeah, because I would
Yes.
always
Now
like
you-
to try to follow it. Now, he said he washes his face 4 times with this tender loving cream.
Right. So, in other words, do you mix that with water?
No, I cleanse it. I just cleanse it. Estee Lauder's Tender Loving Cream. I just cleanse it once, tissue off, cleansing twice, tissue off, 3 times, tissue off, 4 times, tissue off.
All right. That requires some time, though, right?
It goes fast.
Why 4 times? Why
Well,
did it?
because I'm extra sure when that happens, and then after that.
And how much money do you spend a week on Estee Lauder products?
Well,
I mean, that's a big commitment.
I can't. That's why I use the Estee Lauder Tender Cream. Then I use the Estee Lauder's Liquid Cleanser.
Yes.
And then I use the wonderful it's Night Repair. The
Night Repair.
I use
Estee Lauder Night Repair?
Yeah. Oh, this is Advanced Night Repair. It's so wonderful. Night and morning. I have it on now.
You
Is
do
that
have
right?
night
You
repair
wear the
on?
night repair in the day.
As well as the night.
Wow.
And
Day and night, even though it's night repair.
and that's about $100 a bottle.
Wow.
And then after that, I use on top of that in the morning. Right now, I'm using the rejuvenating cream.
Now,
That's the Revlon,
Now that
right?
sounds sort of like snake
No,
oil.
that's the-
Also Estee Lauder.
Oh, then what was the
All
other product
Estee
that you
Lauder.
recommend?
Well, for makeup, after I get the base on, then for makeup, I will use. I love the age-defying cream.
Now, I'm surprised you do wear
That's
makeup.
Revlon's.
As a man, you don't have to wear makeup.
Well, no, I do. It keeps me. It makes me feel clean and cleansed and protected.
Really? Tiny, you're amazing. Well, look at you, though. I mean, who can argue with
Hey,
success?
why are you arguing with him?
Who can argue with it? A man looks young. He does. You can't argue with it. You don't see a wrinkle. I know people 64 They got wrinkles all over their
That's
face. You never had a facelift, right?
No,
No, of course not.
Well, my cheeks have been lifted up. I mean, because I've been cleansing so much, going back to the early 50s.
Right.
I was one of the first to use. They called me sissy, but back in 1952.
I can't believe they would call you that.
Yeah.
Right.
In 52,
Right. Yes.
I was doing Lady Esther's hormone cream when it first came out.
The
Hormone cream.
That was in
And you were using
53.
that.
That was in 53.
And you feel that this is, now, I don't know genetically, like your parents, are they still alive?
No, they were saints of parents, but they're dead now.
They are dead now. But when they did they live a long time?
Yes.
Were they wrinkled?
Not. I don't know. I really can't say my father was that wrinkled. And no, they weren't.
I
really.
see. I see. So far we've learned from Tiny. We haven't even gotten into his music career.
But we've learned how to wash our faces.
We learned how to wash our faces, and we have learned that the steel garbage bags
Hefty steel sacks.
are fantastic.
Well, thanks, Mr. Chairman. Excuse me, I tell you, because they make many types of with the sack on it, but the steel sack is the best, even though it's $5 a box.
Right.
It all depends where you go in the supermarket, but it is about $4.85 or $5 a box.
Right.
They really, every garbage place should use that because you have the handles. The rats can't come in that easy, and you can keep you can keep the
Where are you
handles
staying?
right on.
Where is Tiny? Oh, I don't know where he's staying. The rats can't get in there. That's the important thing.
It's not, I'm just, figuratively talking. I mean, in this city here, it's just a great sanitary bag.
And what are you eating these days? Your weight now, you've slimmed down since I last saw you. What are you eating now? You always have such an unusual diet. That's part of your youth regimen, isn't it?
Well, I have to watch the blood sugar.
You do.
Yeah, I know. I got to watch.
You got the diabetes?
Well, yeah, I could have.
You do?
Yeah. I would say.
You're so healthy, I thought.
Well, it happens to anybody because in this country we're blessed with sugar.
I see.
From ice creams to sodas to whatever.
I see.
So no matter what diabetes today is like the flu.
Because you were the guy who only ate ragu and pumpkin seeds.
Right, but still, I used to drink a lot of sodas.
Oh, you did?
Yes,
Oh,
I-
you see, you never mentioned this before.
Oh,
this is
well-
very revealing.
Oh, no,
What
well,
soda were you drinking?
Oh, I loved. Oh, well, it didn't come from that,
Yeah.
but I still look for it if I ever get it. It's a great health soda.
Right.
It's called Old Time Ginger Beer.
Oh, I see. So you were hitting that.
Oh, I love
Oh,
it.
wow.
In fact, that helped.
No,
it.
I thought you were into a health food thing. What are you eating these days?
Right, these
Ragu?
raw, everything's raw apples, also prunes, raw apples
my.
and prunes.
Tiny, we got a problem?
Not when you're eating like that, you don't.
and just cutting down more on the diet, and of course.
So you mean, what did you have for breakfast today?
I didn't have anything.
Nothing.
I just had some breath savers.
Mouthwash?
No, breath savers.
Really?
Yeah,
You eat those? What kind of breath savers?
This is peppermint.
Those are good.
Well, it's good for the breath.
I've never seen anybody so opinionated on things.
Just the breath.
If he eats it, it's good. That's all. Lifesaver. So all you had was a breath mint,
Yeah,
so you wouldn't be offensive in the room because you hadn't eaten yet.
All right, and also usually when I can, I get apples.
When you wake up, do you brush your teeth, or you don't believe in that?
Oh, sure do.
Oh, you do?
Mouthwash.
Only mouthwash.
Well, I brush my teeth always with Crest most of the time. It does have a hard fluoride in it, and it really strengthens the teeth.
See?
Well, he's got all his teeth.
Yeah.
Can't argue with him.
Right.
When I brush with, thank you, Scripps, when I brush with Crest, when I brush with Crest, I don't usually rinse with water.
Now there's a secret.
I chew the Crest, swish it in my mouth, spit it out, and leave the hardness. So the hardness
The grit.
stays to the teeth.
Really?
Is that right?
Tiny, now how did you develop this theory?
Well, I praise God for His blessings. It's just that because
Came to you.
The fluoride hardens the teeth.
Right.
And when the water is put in, it washes it away.
All right, let me get this straight. You take the Crest, you put it on the toothbrush.
Right.
No water.
Right.
You start to brush your teeth.
Right.
Then you take it, you swallow
Chew
it. Oh, you
No, I
chew
chew
it.
it.
You chew it.
Chew it and leave it in the mouth for about 4 seconds. Swish it around and then spit it out.
Everything is 4 seconds, 4 times with
You
the
think
Estee
there's a
Lauder.
little
Yeah, I think you got
problem with 4?
4.
Yeah, but the only thing I don't like about Crest,
Right.
and any of these toothpaste, except for the health toothpaste, they do have that shocking ingredient saccharin. And if the kids swallow it too much, it can cause cancer.
Really?
And I don't see why these big products don't put in at least regular mint sugar.
Have you written to any of the
I never said that to Krebs, but I did send mailgrams years ago under different names to people like Listerine.
I see. You would use an alias.
Yeah, like Varley Ross was my name when I lived in Brooklyn in the 70s.
Right. So Varley Ross would write to these companies and complain
mailgram.
about.
Why were you writing to Listerine?
Well, in 1974, when I lived in Brooklyn, Miss Vicky left me already then.
Yeah.
That's another story.
Yeah, I got to get to that. She was on here.
Oh,
yeah.
I hear. Thanks for being so nice to me.
I was.
I can tell you stories about that.
Oh, really?
But-
Good. I want. By the way,
Well,
Tiny
we'll
in the
get
next
other
segment.
side of the story.
We'll get into a little of that. Believe me, you got to have a chance to defend yourself. Absolutely. Go ahead. Yes.
Thanks, Mr. Chairman. Anyway,
Thank you.
The thing is, in this case, I broke a big bottle of Listerine in the bathroom,
Go
and
ahead.
I immediately sent a mailgram to them saying, "Why don't you make your bottles in plastic?" And then I called. Then they sent me back something, and they told me on the phone.
Yes.
And they had a point there that we don't want to put it in plastic because the ingredients won't be as powerful. Now they have put it in plastic, and this time they were right. I say to Listerine, get back to glass because the plastic is killing your mouthwash.
May I applaud that?
Oh,
Thank you. It's about time somebody spoke up on that. No, I'm being serious.
Get
You
back
care about
to
what
the
you're
glass.
putting in your mouth.
Thanks.
It's not the same product in the plastic.
right, not for the brown Listerine. The green one's not bad.
Understood.
The mint one.
Wow. Wow. I never even thought that much about products. I got to be honest
But you
with
don't seem to have a lot of product loyalty because you're always trying new things.
Well, you got to. You got to be experimental in
Yeah,
that.
that's right. Because everything is moving on. They're always trying to invent new things and
Right.
coming out with geniuses of ideas.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, dude, Tiny was on a thing for a while that he was just eating pumpkin seeds and ragu.
Right, yeah,
I mean, that was
I
the whole
remember
thing.
that.
Now he's into raw apples and prunes.
And he didn't cook the spaghetti, remember?
Remember, you used to eat regular spaghetti just without cooking it?
It was very firm. I still love it that way.
You do?
Very firm, where I can almost chew the grains.
Now, what do you do if you stay in a hotel? Do you cook in the hotel?
No. Sometimes I'll order room service or go out and get some apples and always spring water.
I see.
Like either Evian or Crystal Geyser.
Oh, really?
It's not a bad buy for 89 cents.
Well, there you go.
Crystal Geyser.
Is that right?
I mean, that's not for 89 cents. I think it comes from somewhere in California.
I see.
But there is a difference.
You sure it's not just tap water?
Probably is.
No.
Probably the chambermaids come in, fill up Tiny's bottles with, they don't tell
Oh,
them.
no, I can say one thing. I don't care what the experts say.
Go ahead.
And this is my opinion only.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Gentlemen, I can tell
That's,
you.
Mr. Jackie,
It's
Mr.
not
Bill.
true. I say there is germs through our systems of water.
Yes.
And that these bottled waters are excellent.
Yes.
Especially if it's Evian water, especially if it's Crystal Geyser. And there's one thing that comes from Canada. I can't remember the name of it now, but it's some great Canadian waters.
But you got to admit, Tiny, you are germ phobic. I mean, you got the thing with the washing the hands, and you take like 8 showers a day, right?
No, I'll tell you one main one. I haven't missed a shower since December 20th, 1989.
Is that right? Now, why did you miss a shower before that?
That's a great question.
Thank you.
Because I was trying for a year, and in November of that year, I broke it, and then I felt discouraged. But now I haven't missed it since that time.
You felt odd.
Just one day
said,
you
hey,
didn't have a
you
shower?
felt that, hey, this is a compulsion to shower. Let me see what would happen if I didn't shower for a day. Is that what you're saying?
No. What happened? Miss Jan was with me then, and she said to me, I was going to take a late shower, and because see, my regimen has to be within a 24-hour period.
Period, yes.
Not to miss. And this was 10 to it was.
You were going
10
on the
o'clock.
24th hour.
Right, on the 22nd hour.
Thank you.
Without taking it.
Right.
And then she said, what do you want, me or the shower? Because she wanted to do something.
Oh, she was waiting for you on the bed, and you had a tough decision to make.
tempted you.
And Miss Jan, beautiful, all your wives, beautiful women.
Oh, thanks.
Yes.
Thanks.
I got where he was from.
Well, listen, he's thinking about the moment.
I did weaken. I can't do much anyway, but she was doing things to me.
Right, and she was weakening you, and she was there, and you skipped the shower.
Well, I did, and I kicked myself for that afterwards.
You did. That was the only shower you ever missed. And what about now? So the showering routine, you have one major shower for the day, but you do take spruce-up showers,
Yes,
don't you?
when nature calls.
Right.
Here's what happens when nature calls.
Right.
I heard
Number two you're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
I heard.
Sorry, Mr. Jackie.
No, I heard
Mr. Jackie, very sensitive.
I heard your show when I lived in New York here.
Yes.
And Miss Labata had hemorrhoids, and I'll
Yes.
never forget that.
Yes.
And,
Mr. Who?
Mr. Lombardo. The Forbidden Dance?
Mr. Gary, you know.
Yeah, Mr. Delabate, right, yes. Go ahead. Okay. Right.
And I heard your show then. And
I call him Mr. Lombardo, too, so do not be embarrassed at all. Thank you.
That's a tough name for anybody.
I'm sorry.
But Tiny's got a lot of information. You should really listen to this.
Well, he heard this. Yeah,
I mean, in
about
all
the
seriousness.
hemorrhoids.
All right.
And the thing is,
Rather than wipe, you use a...
no, what happens is this. First of all, when a person gets hemorrhoids,
Go ahead.
they are getting the hemorrhoids from meats and cheeses,
Yes.
which ball up like gum in the system.
Thank you.
That means that it can't move out, causing a force.
You never eat meat or cheeses.
Oh, here and there sometimes, and
Yes.
that's how I had it.
You did have the hemorrhoids.
I can experiment with that.
Yes.
The greatest, in order to avoid these hemorrhoids,
Go ahead.
one must always use.
Oh, excuse me. That was me. I apologize. Right, okay.
Well, always use raw. The key word is raw apples,
Right.
dried figs, dried prunes, apricot. Oh no.
Excuse me, Mr. Tim.
No,
Yeah,
no,
thank
and in breads, always a cracked wheat bread
Yes.
that you can chew with grains in it.
Yes.
But these flat breads will gum up in the system.
Right, that moves the system.
They are. They
cheeses.
make sludge, right?
Yeah, right.
Right.
Cheeses, chickens, all these things, steaks have no fiber.
It's hard to believe you got the hemorrhoids, but go ahead. You had them.
But
So then
by
you would go...
experimenting with it. Raw apples, raw prunes, beets,
Beets,
cans.
yeah.
But you must stay away. Not much of meats or cheeses.
Thank
They
you.
clog up the system.
Absolutely. I always tell Robin that. She's
That's
very
right.
clogged.
Then I always wash with soap and water in there, at least,
With the Dove.
or
That lucky bar of
Wait a
Dove.
minute, there's another tip.
Or...
No, in cleaning, no. When I use soap and water, I use clean and smooth germ-free dispenser in the brown liquid. It's more sanitary for the hands. You press the top down.
That's just for washing your hands.
That's the rear end inside.
Oh, really?
Yeah, with soap and
Inside.
water.
Right.
And then I will also cleanse with creams in there because that will also cleanse the area. Then when it's clean, and this is very, very important, then when it's clean,
I don't want to miss this.
when the hemorrhoids are gone,
Go ahead.
I still use.
Right.
I still use I either use Preparation H in the green tube, not the other ones.
Right.
In the new green tube
Boy,
with the green
he's
letter.
tried everything, yeah.
Or Anusol is excellent,
Right.
or something called Pazo, P-A-Z-O.
And you apply that with the hand?
Very gently, yes.
Yes.
Even when I don't have them anymore, and I still apply
Just
them.
as a precaution.
That's right.
Really?
Like
Is that
a
right?
cream.
So when you go to the supermarket, you will buy a hemorrhoid cream and apply it,
Pazo, either Pazo or Preparation H in the green carton, or Anusol.
even though you've licked the problem.
Yes.
Wow.
Because you want to keep it nice and soft, like the hands.
I love you. I swear to God. I love you. It's unbelievable. I mean, we didn't even get to how to clean a
It is hard
bathroom.
to keep up. Yes, because the last time we saw him, he was upset with Comet.
Oh, let me tell you something. Yeah, are you still upset with Comet, by
If
the
they
way?
don't have the grit in it, I would be.
Yes.
Because by taking out the grit, really to clean a bathtub, there's got to be grit in the cleanser.
And they took out the grit.
Yeah, that's why I use Zud.
You'd use Zud. Do they have the grit?
More than the other two. Ajax.
Fascinating. Why did they take the grit out?
Well, I think they try to be like Bon Ami, and it doesn't work in bathtubs.
No.
Because you must have grit to.
You don't let the
remove.
chambermaids clean your bathtub, do you?
Well, if I'm not there, they can clean it.
They can?
Yeah, but I always clean it myself, and then I usually will spray on top of the powder. I will spray something like Lysol to make the powder move with the liquid.
Well, you got to make a lot of money to support all your products. I mean,
Just that alone, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
I wonder about his packing. He's got one suitcase full of product.
yeah. When you come to New York on a promotional visit,
always it's heavy.
how many suitcases?
Oh no, it's not that. I only have 2 valet bags and 2 handbags.
Oh, but you got to carry all your products, your Estee Lauder and everything
yeah, well,
else.
it
Right.
does get a bit heavy.
It does. Well, listen, it works. Look at the guy. That's proof positive. You're gorgeous. Look at you. All right, good. All right, listen.
You know what? Does Tiny exercise?
No, I don't think Tiny exercise. You walk a lot, right?
I really don't, Ms. Grivers. I tell
He's
you.
buying products. That's exercise enough.
That's you walking in that
You walk up and down the aisle. This is a supermarket.
Maybe I should, but the thing is, if I try to save my life, I can lose it anyway.
Right.
I can.
As soon as you start caring about it, you lose it.
And not only that, if the plane can explode.
Right. It's true.
So sit and
Yeah.
enjoy.
That bottom is very soft. I guarantee it. right?
Oh, well,
Yes.
It all depends on the chair.
With all the showering and the lotioning and everything else. Because you do full body lotion,
Oh,
right?
yes. Oh,
Well, touch his hands, Howard.
Yeah, no, I don't want a Tiny gets upset.
You'll feel how
No, I don't want to
soft-
touch your hand. Hey, come on, there could be
No,
germs.
'cause he said his butt was as soft as his hands.
Is that right? You mind if I touch it? I mean, I have no hang up. I mean, you do. Oh,
That's
my
the
God.
applicator.
Tiny, that's delicate.
well, thank you. Sir, I use Vaseline's new pink hand cream. Only for the hands. It has keratin in it, and I really
Is that the secret?
Pardon.
And what about, seriously, the rest of your body? Is
I've been
lotion...
creaming my hands since the 40s. May rest in peace, Walter Winchell,
Yes.
when he was first advertising Jergens lotion
Right.
on WJZ radio at 9
Understood.
o'clock. Jergens was so wonderful then when it came in glass and it had the almond scent. But
Right.
as far as the body's concerned, yes, after every shower, I always cream my body, either with Vaseline Intensive Care in the yellow or sometimes Revlon's Aquamarine lotion.
What color with bottle?
The Vaseline one is the yellow,
Yes.
and the Aquamarine is blue and white.
Oh, it is. Okay, thank you. I bought the wrong bottle. All right, very good. Listen, Tiny, I want you to mellow out. You've done a lot of talking here. You can conserve your energy, please. If you need something to drink or whatever, I would be happy to accommodate you.
Oh,
All
any
right.
beer is it?
You want a beer?
Oh, thank
Yeah, Tiny loves beer.
You know what? It's interesting to me because he's so healthy, and then
Beer is
he
good.
got off the sodas and went to the beer.
Well,
Excuse me, Ms. Grissom, Mrs. John, I will take this, but thanks for letting me talk here. I really believe, and it's my own opinion,
Go ahead.
that diabetes is not hampered by beer. Beer has brewer's yeast, and also is a great.
good for the bowel or not?
Not bad.
Not bad.
You ought to play Jackie's beer song for
The
him.
only thing, most diabetics are thirsty. They go for sodas, not for beers, because
Right.
they can't take the bitter brew.
Understood.
I love these beers.
All right, Gary, please fix Tiny a beer. And listen, man likes a beer. There's no problem with me on
Is
that.
there any time of the day? I mean, is this too early for beer or not?
not
No
here.
time too early.
No.
He's working on a 24-hour
Not
clock.
beer, not
right,
beer.
that's right. All right, let's take a break. Tiny will have his beer for breakfast. Hey, so Tiny, anyway, so your first wife, Miss Vicky, comes in here, and she made a whole big splash with, she was all over the media, making reference to the marriage, saying the marriage was a farce, saying that you didn't make love to her for the first 6 months. You didn't make love for 6 months. You walked around in women's underwear. And
Well, see, that Hillary, I don't think she wrote that because she said her editor, did some work on it.
so you never saw him walking around in women's
I
underwear?
didn't see him walk around in it. I mean, I knew that he had it. I mean, because I used to pack his suitcase for him. We had an apartment, a large, very large one.
Yeah.
So I had like one wing and he had the other wing. And he had a lot of friends over.
A lot of guys? But you didn't see anything going on, did you?
No, but I mean, they
They
were
used
there
to
all night.
disappear.
Right.
Well, you say that in the article. It says she heard, the baby was in the house. and
Right.
She could hear Tiny and his little friends, over there laughing
Yeah, they
and
were
giggling.
partying.
Hey, it's just a party. I have guys over to parties.
Sure you do.
In fairness to Tiny.
In women's underwear?
Okay, first of all, if I may answer,
Go ahead.
as a certain, she also said that I had men in the room.
Yes,
said
she
I
did.
said I had men in the room, and
And you were wearing women's panties.
yes,
Right.
and also that she left me alone with them. She wanted the baby to sleep or something. First of all,
Now, as far I've always known you have a complete, if I may say, hard-on for women. I mean, you
I
always.
have,
well, right now I'm very
I
interested.
think that
Right.
I could say
You're
it
impotent
best.
now?
Oh yeah,
Is that right?
I've been, my new love, Miss Sue, she's 39. She's in Eden Prairie, Minnesota. She knows that. In fact,
What happened, Tiny?
Well,
When did it happen?
From the diabetes?
Maybe part of it is that way, but I don't blame that. I blame the years go by, and definitely,
The lead drains out of the pencil?
well, I would say.
Tiny, you took such good care of yourself. It's hard to believe.
Well, that doesn't mean nothing. It's a very delicate area.
Yes.
And
Do you cream it?
Did you misuse
yes,
it?
Sometimes
You
I
do? You do lotion it?
I used to.
What lotion do you use?
Well, that was going back to the.
You didn't use that
the 80s.
hormone cream on it.
Because I know.
I've stopped doing that. Maybe I should have.
Right. Maybe you should lotion it. Maybe that's what happened.
No, but it just time will do that.
Really?
Oh, Tiny, don't Don't
Tiny, you're not
say
that. I mean, you're only
When
64.
did it happen? How long ago? How long has this been going on?
First discovered about July of last year.
You know what I
Is that
use? I lotion myself with Easy Off down there. It's got the grit.
Well, no, that's a very delicate area.
Oven cleaner.
And you know, I didn't fool around. You know, I don't believe in fornication before marriage. But the thing is, and Miss Jan left me so many times, I don't believe in fooling around myself because that's naughty.
You never did
Tiny
that.
does not.
Oh,
No,
sure,
Tiny
I
has
Are
done
you
it.
sure you didn't just back up
No,
the system?
Tiny has fooled around with himself, right? Am I correct? But very rarely.
On times, I hate that it's wrong. It's
Yeah, you always felt that
it's
you were
simple.
failing when you did that.
Tiny feels
Yeah.
that should be safe for marriage. I think we've all
Yeah.
established
thanks,
that.
Thanks. And so I told my new intended, Miss Sue, she's only 39. She looks so wonderful. Which I had a
You
picture
always
of.
have good-looking women. I mean,
well,
there's never been a problem there, right?
Why is Miss Sue going to go forward with this if you're...
Good question, Ms. Quiver.
Yeah.
So I told her that she
Because there's
doesn't.
still hope.
She doesn't need much. She likes to be touched only.
Right.
Number one.
Yes.
Number two, she says she loves me immensely. She doesn't care.
Right. It's
number
more of a
three-
cerebral relationship than a.
Well, she'll be a little touching.
Right.
And I've let her. I made an album. This is not to plug it, but just in England. It's out here in Tower Records called "Songs of an Impotent Troubadour."
Really?
And the reason I did that is to let others who are impotent know. Just because you're impotent, don't mean you still can't sing love songs.
Can I ask you a
Well,
question?
you know, I
Isn't
have
it
to
true?
praise him because how many people would admit
Tiny admits everything.
to impotence?
So that's why when someone says that you were with men and all this other stuff, that's why you would be honest if you had been.
Yes, I would. Like the affair I told you once on the show years ago, that was one. You know, one comes across obstacles like that
Right.
in life, and I instead of lying, I said that it did happen
Once.
But I thank Jesus Christ for getting me out of that. And you know, we all go through life with crosses, whatever.
Right.
So you would not say that you are attracted to men?
Oh no, praise the Lord.
Okay.
No.
All right.
But I still feel for those persons.
Right.
I mean, everyone has their cross to bear.
Right.
I mean, how true it is or not, they say King David loved Jonathan very much, and you know how that's related.
Your point is you want to refute what Miss Vicky is saying, that if it implies that you are with men.
Oh no, let me
Yeah.
bring that. I'm sorry, I got off that subject.
All right.
For that, number one.
We're sorry too. Yeah.
Number one, it was completely wrong.
Right.
There was certainly sex. After the third day in marriage,
Yeah.
I'd say December 21st.
Third day of marriage. Why did you wait to the third day to have
Because
sex with
I
her?
believe that, like in the Old Testament, especially in the Catholic Bible, of Tobias, who didn't have anything with his wife until the fourth day, to keep the Lord first, second,
Right.
to whatever it was, and third, to keep sex the last thing,
Right.
to glorify the Lord for children.
Right.
And I just wanted to do the same thing.
You wanted to have kids.
Right.
Right.
And we have this too.
Right.
But the first 3 days I didn't touch Miss Vicky. So on December 21st of 1969 was the first time that it happened in the King's Inn in the Bahamas
Right.
on the honeymoon.
It did happen at the King's Inn.
Sure.
Oh, I didn't realize
and
that.
not only that, it happened for 25 days in a row.
Oh, it did?
And she was. And
Wow.
she
And it was good? She
well,
could, you know, because she said you know,
I
she
didn't
wasn't
know.
enjoying herself then.
Well,
Well, you've admitted you're very fast in the sack. You don't waste time.
Yeah, because I only wanted kids.
Right.
I know. And
Oh, so you didn't enjoy sex time?
I loved.
The woman didn't. That was the problem. Right?
Oh, the squirrels.
Tiny, you enjoyed it, right?
Oh, for the first minute was divine.
But Tiny, you were the type that, listen, you don't believe in any kind of foreplay or anything, true?
Well, yes, I did before that happened.
Oh, you did?
You know, I
I
didn't know
see.
what I didn't know what I was doing because I really never had an intimate affair until I married Miss Vicky.
And plus, because you're not with yourself all the time, you cannot hold back. It's very difficult. Is that true?
Gee, thanks.
Yeah. I mean, in your defense.
You understand so much.
Right. I got the
But
same problem.
after doing it every day
Yeah,
for
but
25 days, you
25
must have
days,
learned something.
She was expecting in January
Right.
of 1970.
Right. So there you go.
And we lost the first kid
Right.
in May of 1970. We lost it in Houston, Texas. After 5 months, it's buried in a cemetery in a casket because they wanted to throw it away. I said, "No, it's still alive. You've got to keep it."
Is that right?
In abortions, it's buried.
Really?
So why she said that?
Yeah, because
is-
she said there was sex that one time, she got pregnant, and that was it, right?
But if that's what she said, then already she refuted it didn't happen in 6 months because we lost the kid in May
I see.
of 1970.
I see. So you would like to defend yourself and say, look,
sure.
you were not
Well, that's-
fornicating with men back during the
that's-
honeymoon.
Now, and
Right.
you're also
No.
saying that you really loved her,
Oh, sure.
and
Of course you did.
this was not some pretend affair.
course.
Just
The guy said he lasted 1 second 29 times in a row. That's love.
And if there were men,
Right.
if there were men in the room
Go ahead.
Of course, I don't have any visitors, except unless my relatives or hers are very rare friends. I like to name one man. One guy's name.
Right.
If there were guys in the room, let's see.
Who were these men, is what you say.
But there was no one there.
Right.
You see, that's
Yes.
number two. And number three, about wearing bloomers. Now, here's what Current Affair did not mention.
Yes.
Because they asked the same question.
Right.
Now, it is true that before I read about Cary Grant, that he did wear bloomers.
He wore panties. Panties.
Well, they were
Bloomers
silk.
back then. Yes,
They were
silk panties,
And
yeah.
I wanted to find out how silk felt.
Yes.
So I did buy these bloomers to wear it because to see how it feels,
How'd it
compared
feel?
to cotton. Well, it felt nice and soft.
It did.
And smooth.
You liked it.
Yeah, but it didn't have any openings. The women's one didn't have any openings,
Right.
and so I quickly discarded it. And
So you wore it one time.
I might have shown her in the house, but she made the world believe that I wore it all the time.
There is no shame in wearing a pair of panties once, so you wanted to try it for the fabric. I'll be honest with you, I'm wearing a Kotex right now. I go way further than you.
Well, I wear no.
Just in case of an
Hold
accident.
it. I
No,
think
no.
he's going to top you.
Yeah, right. Go ahead.
No, I'm not trying to do that.
Go ahead, Tony, please do.
But right now, I want nothing from these people.
Right.
And I will not advertise their products. It's not fair to the people trying to make it in this business.
Go ahead.
But I've always used Depends.
Oh.
I've always used Depends.
Is that correct?
For what time?
What time?
Because instead of underwear, I throw it away every day. It's nice and sanitary. I have no bladder
Isn't it
control
bulky?
problem. No, it is not.
You're wearing a diaper right now?
Depends. Yes.
No
And
kidding.
you have no bladder control?
No, he does. He's saying
No. He just said he has no bladder control.
he has no problem, he said.
I have no problem.
Oh, is that what you said?
It's nice and soft.
Tiny believes in cleanliness.
Are you wearing the ones now that have the cotton, or the fabric outside?
Yeah, well, I've always worn that.
Oh.
Wow.
Only what I don't like about Depends is they have the ones without the hook. They have these what you rip off,
Yes.
you put together.
Oh, that thing.
With
what they
the
call
tape,
it?
the Velcro, like.
No, I don't like that one.
Yes.
But I like the one with what's in the loop where the button goes in.
I see.
However, I wish they would make.
It's hard to relate on this topic,
a full panty, like they do Huggies for kids,
Right.
where I can get into it very
Just step
easily.
in.
Yeah,
Right.
without those straps that tear apart.
Wow.
But wait a minute, Tiny. You didn't like the silk underwear because it had no openings.
Right.
I didn't like that, and
But the Depends has no opening.
oh, it sure does.
Oh, yes, it does. What do you know, Robin? Have you worn a Depends? The guy knows what he's talking about.
Oh, it sure does.
Tiny, this is amazing to me. So, in other words, because of your cleanliness phobia, in a way, you have a germ phobia, right? True.
Well,
I mean, you wash the hands of someone.
Yes, well, that's important.
Yeah.
But
So rather than wear underwear that can get fouled or have right.
That's right. I throw Depends right away every day.
Every day.
But
No wonder you want to close up that steel sack.
Yeah, you don't want anybody looking at your garbage.
Seeing what you're doing.
That's very true, Ms. Gribbs, because I don't want the mates to see that.
Sure.
Right, God forbid. That'll end up in the Inquirer.
Every day I
Right.
use a new Depend, but I wish they would make one where you can put it all the way up without those straps.
Would you like an elastic around the top?
Just like the kiddies have, I would like a
Wow.
Pampers,
Tiny, this is fascinating.
Pampers or Depends that will fit up to the belly.
I'm really fascinated. Do you know that for impotent men, they do make a shot that you can take? You put a shot into your genitals, and it will give you a 4-hour erection?
No, it's got to come from food. I don't want those needles there.
I've never gotten an erection from
And
food,
you would
I'll
never
tell
get a
that.
penile implant? or
No
anything
penile
like
implant?
Oh, no.
Absolutely not.
No, if it doesn't work naturally, something's wrong.
Wow.
But the thing is, so she was wrong, with those bloomers.
Yes.
And Current Affair,
Yes.
when I said the same thing I told you here, that but they didn't mention Cary Grant's name.
Aha.
So they let them
Cut it out.
They didn't let them believe that I was parading around in women's clothing.
Tiny, because we're running short on time, I want to make sure to get to your musical career as well. No, don't be sorry at all. This is fascinating. I could do a 4-hour
Yeah, I
program
don't
with
know
you.
why we have to stop.
I'm sure there's stuff that I haven't even hit on. I mean, it's unbelievable.
How could you have ever known about Depends or impotence?
I'm going to try the Depends. I'm sick of doing my wash.
Oh yeah, you'll love it.
Really?
You'll love it. Only thing, but you should throw away every day, and they've come out with a softer type of wear.
Is that right?
It's a softer type of
No
wear.
rubbing or anything? Doesn't rub?
Not like
No
the
chafing?
old ones. No, this is really nice.
Are you
and
embarrassed in
soft.
front of your fiancée that she would see you in your Depends?
Oh, absolutely not. Oh, she hasn't seen me yet in my
She hasn't seen you nude.
Oh,
No, she won't see you nude till the wedding night. Is that correct? She will not reveal that side to her. Smart. So you will wait till the wedding night as you did with your
But
other.
can you imagine undressing Tiny and you get down to the diaper?
Right. That's something I'd love to do.
well, if we get married, I never take it for granted, but if we get married, she'll have to wait 3 nights.
She will.
I'll have
Well,
to
let
go
me
through the
ask you
same
something,
routine.
Tiny.
Yes.
Because I do wonder why you always have these things, the biblical thing about, marriage and all that. But in the Bible, doesn't it sort of say you're only supposed to get married once?
Great question.
That's a good question, but
That's a great question.
well, go ahead, take it, Tiny.
All right. That's right.
Want another beer?
Oh,
I want another beer.
Oh,
You might need another
thank you
beer.
very much.
Would you
Yeah.
like another beer for that question?
yeah, no, I can.
Yeah. Gary, bring in another ice.
That's a great question. That Budweiser ice is
Ice
great.
draft.
like the
nice.
ice draft.
I didn't like it until I tried this. In fact, I was the first to drink.
That's what I was trying to tell you. It's a good drink. It's a good drink.
The ice draft beer by Budweiser I had on a plane once.
Delicious.
A couple of years ago.
Delicious.
That was the first ice I drank then by Budweiser, and thanks for letting me drink it again.
And we'll need another one for the marital question, please. All right.
Okay, first of all, you're right there, Ms. Quivers. I want to say I only believe in one marriage. Mm-hmm. I didn't divorce Miss Vicky.
That's right.
She did it to me.
Yeah.
I tried to fight it. I didn't have the money in Florida in '77 to come back to contest it. So the state of Jersey, gave it to her without my consent. My lawyer started to get a little crooked with me, and I couldn't afford him no more to hold it off anymore.
Right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Gary, for the beer.
Mr. Gary, thank you.
Plop up
So,
fast.
so I couldn't do that. So the state of Jersey gave it a divorce. I still didn't marry. She got married again. So what should I do? Should I, when she got married, should I sit around and like women and then have them touch
No, I
me?
think what Tiny is trying to say, if I may jump in,
He
that
didn't want to sin.
it was again.
thank you.
Say
Yes.
it. These women right away they rushed to the lawyers. Okay, very good. Now listen, Tiny. Let's get to your musical career.
All right, thank you.
Because this is really why you're here. The music comes first.
No. I'm here to whatever you need, Mr. Stern.
Well, I mean, you didn't want to spend the whole morning on diapers and hand
Oh, it
lotion.
doesn't bother me.
Yeah, really?
Doesn't bother me.
Okay, good. All
It
right.
helps the public.
It does help the public. You might start a trend. Who knows? You know what I'm saying?
Well, we have the greatest country in the world, I tell you, and that's why I told you I use Job Squad to wipe myself with the paper towels called Job Squad.
When you go to the bathroom, you only use Job Squad?
Yes, that's
Oh, is
all-
that correct?
Oh, after the shower, I don't use no cloth towels.
No towels.
Always only Job Squad, or I don't think you can get it in the East out here. So I would try New Viva.
You will not use the hotel towels?
No. I use New Viva, the cloth-like towel.
How many towels does it take, these Viva, to wipe yourself down after a shower? I imagine you go through a whole roll.
No. It only takes about 8 sheets.
8 sheets. Now, what is the purpose of that? Because you feel the towels are abrasive?
They're more sanitary.
Yeah.
They're not cleansed before with other germs from other towels, and not only that.
But don't they wash the towels and everything?
But that doesn't mean nothing.
He's saying you're just mixing germs.
Right.
It's only used once, and it's so soft.
Really?
It's so soft. If you get, there's a New Viva. I don't get nothing from it. New Viva. It says cloth-like towel. It's a new formula.
Good for
and
you.
It's nice and soft. And if you can't get Job Squad out here.
You might be the only guy in America using these towels to dry off.
Well, I hope they start using it because you'll find how wonderful it is for the body,
Right.
how sanitary, and it prevents you from getting lice and other itches.
Good for you. More beer, Gary, please. All right, for Tiny. You're saying now with Miss Sue, when will you get married? Do you know?
Well, he's not gotten rid of Miss Jan
June
yet.
7th.
Miss Jan is out of the picture?
No, June 7th, there's a trial coming in Des Moines, Iowa, since I live there.
Yes.
To settle this. I don't know what Miss Jan is doing now. She's got a lawyer to fight this.
I see. She doesn't want to get a divorce.
No, she doesn't. But
She loves you.
Yeah.
How long has it been since you two have been together?
Well,
Going on 10 years now, isn't it?
gee, it's a great question. We've only seen each other.
They're all great
Visited
questions.
Me. We haven't really been together since we married, except that she lived 2 blocks away when I lived in New York.
Did you ever have sex with her?
Oh, yes.
Oh, you did?
I haven't had anything since 1989 with her.
Is that correct?
Except she came to touch me. When she came over, she touched me here and there.
Oh, she did.
And
She used her hands. Oh, my. Oh, I don't mean to embarrass you, Tiny.
You're embarrassing, Tiny.
Well, let me tell you, I'm the worst sinner
She
in
took
the world.
liberties with you, didn't she?
I'm the
Well,
worst
listen, you're
sinner.
not a sinner. It's
Yeah,
all right.
I praise the Lord.
you consider that a weakness, don't you?
Well,
Tiny?
it is a weakness. That's why I tried
When
to
she
keep it
touched you,
away.
you couldn't back away.
Oh, no.
That was impossible.
It was impossible.
And what about Miss Sue? Has she asked for sex with you, and you have said, we must wait, my darling?
Not until marriage, and she's very religious. We always pray, but there has been petting since September.
You had her shirt
Do
off.
you think you can control
Under the
that?
shirt or over the shirt?
Over.
Over the shirt.
Over.
With the bra on.
No, that I rarely have seen her that way.
Right.
She's always touched me with my pants on.
Have you seen her in a bathing suit?
Oh no, not yet.
Oh, you would explode.
But the
at
thing is, I pray to get out of those sinful things.
And she has touched you with your pants on.
Yes. Oh.
Oh, my goodness.
But I praise the Lord, it stopped. Thank God, Christ. We both prayed about that, and not until marriage.
Right.
That's naughty too. We all have
You
our
live such a
weaknesses.
tortured life.
Well, Tiny is a man of values. He has certain
tortured.
values that he has to stick
I
by.
think nothing until marriage, if I can help it.
Right.
But I always tell the world, I'm the world's biggest sinner. I thank Jesus Christ for strength and blessings.
Hey, Tiny, now you were born Jewish, though, right?
My mother's still Jewish.
Yes, right. But how did you find
still am.
Jesus?
Well, I found years ago, 1951.
Yes.
I believe he's Jewish too.
Oh,
He is Jewish,
that's
you're
right.
right.
Yeah.
And so the Sweet Blessed Mother Jewish. So St. Matthew's. They're all.
That always pisses the Christians off when you tell them that Jesus was a Jew.
But it's true.
Yes.
I mean, and basically, I just believe he's the Son of God. That's another big
It
topic.
just came to you.
Yeah, and one day we can have
So
a real
would you
big-
say you're a Jew for Jesus?
Well, that's a good question, Ms. Griffith.
Another good question.
I would say, if you want to put it that way, that could be true. But I would certainly, definitely state, however, I also believe in the Sweet Blessed Mother, and she's also Jewish.
Yes.
She is also Jewish, and a lot of people forget that.
Yes.
And
I know Robin forgot that. I remember it. You would have started a whole new thing. Never mind Jews for Jesus. You'd be Jews for Lysol. You know what I mean? Another product.
well, Lysol does have a great ingredient.
All right, let's get to this. Tiny, let's do what you're here for.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, against herpes?
And flu.
Lysol against herpes?
If you read the can on the blue the gold can
Yes.
of the original disinfectant, it'll say something about the virus, and I think it mentions herpes.
Let me ask you something about Miss Sue. Do you have her checked by a doctor to make sure that she's absolutely
She
clean?
is cleaner than me.
Really?
This girl inspects my hands to make sure they're washed.
Really?
This girl, her showers are unbelievable.
How did you find her?
What are her showers like?
She called me up. She found my name in the paper.
What is her shower like?
Well, I've never seen her take showers.
Right, but she tells you.
But she has showers. She has she goes to doctors. She thinks she's got the environmental illness. She
Yes.
sees a doctor here in New York.
Really?
She travels to see him. She takes over 30 vitamins a day.
Really?
I mean, she's
This is a immaculately clean,
Same
doesn't
with-
mess around behind your back or anything.
She
Oh,
found
right,
your
very
name in the
truthful.
paper, Tiny?
Yeah.
One of the papers said I was living in Des Moines and it mentioned the hotel. She called up last year. I invited her over with a then boyfriend, and she fell in love with
And
me.
then she fell in love. You stole her away, I guess.
No, she liked
Stole
me
her
since
heart.
she was 13.
Wow. When she showers, make sure she stands on her hands. That's the best way to keep everything clean.
She's exquisitely clean.
Good. Tiny Tim has more going on around him than any guy on the planet. There is more action going on. No wonder you're wearing Depends. I'd make 'em my pants if I had all the action going on that you do.
Unbelievable. This is unbelievable.
What the hell's going on in his life? You can go on jokes on other shows.
Do we let you tell a joke?
Oh, this is a great beer.
You come on over
I
here,
know this is so good.
and you can step right up to this microphone. Just identify yourself. Say, this is Tiny Tim. Would you like to sit down, or would you like a ukulele? Whatever.
I'll just
Okay, you can say, this is Tiny Tim, and you're listening to the best of Stern. And again, you can get loose with it, do all that.
Oh, tiptoe through the... I still can't get that.
Okay.
I have that cold. Oh, I can't get nothing. Tiptoe through the tulips with me. I'm sorry, what do I say?
Hi, this is Tiny Tim, and you're listening to the best of Stern.
Oh, tiptoe. Oh, I don't want to use that voice because I can't get it up there. All right. Tiptoe. Can't get it up there yet. Okay. Well, I'm sorry, you listen to what?
Best of Stern.
Oh, tiptoe through the tulips. Hello, my dear friends. This is Tiny Tim. saying you're listening to the best of Stern.
Okay, now
Well, let me try that again.
that was pretty good.
All right, let me try something from the record here. Oh, no, I can't. The voices won't do it today.